Hey up everybody, welcome back to the I'll Do Cycling YouTube channel, where today I am going to be reviewing my Velogames Spain team. So the team is pretty good. I think what we're going to do first is we look at the team that I picked, and then I'm going to look at some of the riders that I recommended and see how they kind of performed in the overall standings. Overall we came about just under 5,000th in the world, which is it's pretty good going, you know, it's top third in the world. And we had some really good picks, and we also had some not very good picks. So we'll start with the good ones. Primoz Roglic, of course, getting 3,400 points. That's just, you know, that was always a given. A lot of people picked him. I think it's about 75%. So, you know, we all bared the fruit of Primoz Roglic. I think it was never really in doubt that I was going to put him on my team. Jakobsen was another one that I was pretty certain on. I think he was the sprinter that I most strongly recommended out of all of them. 1,400 points. 3 stage wins, incredible from Jakobsen, not just as a rider on Velogames, but also just it's really good to see him back in general. I mean, of course, Magnus Cort Nielsen was arguably the surprise of the whole thing, winning 3 stages and second on the last stage. I think it was just an incredible performance from Maggie. I think he was probably one of the best 6-pointers that there's ever been, up there with Hershey and Craig Anderson from last year at the Tour for sure. Just absolutely outstanding from Maggie, and I'm really glad that's what my team. It was a fairly last minute change, but I got Maggie onto there. But I did end up changing my team, perhaps for the worst out of it. Some other good ones, I've strongly recommended Kron, and you know, he did alright. He got 400 points. I think that's a very solid return. Of course, there were better ones like Michael Storer, who got nearly like 800, something like that. So there were better ones, and I think Quinn Simmons perhaps wasn't the best pick from me. I was expecting him to get more involved in the bunch sprints. I think, yeah, Michael Storer there would have been ideal, because from Roglic, Jakobsen and Cort we got 10 stage wins, so we would have ended up with 12 if we had Michael Storer. I think David de la Cruz was a solid pick. You know, he just continuously brought in some points, almost getting 900 points as a 6-point rider. That's incredibly good when you consider that that's like double what Kron got. I think that he was a very good pick for an all-rounder slot, or also in the wildcard slot. The bad picks were Landa, Carthy and Ciccone, which is really not great considering that I was hoping that those 3 would be up there in GC. I was kind of expecting to have 5 GC riders, and I ended up losing Carthy very early on, which wasn't good. I think a lot of people picked him there, so we were all just in the same boat. Landa ended up just not performing very well at all, and then ended up DNFing quite late on. And I think Ciccone crashed quite late on as well, and ended up not finishing. So Ciccone was actually a pretty good one, but then just got unlucky with a crash. But yeah, I was very disappointed with Carthy. I think ideally what I would have done was perhaps I think initially I had Bernal in this slot, and I feel like that probably would have been the better way round to go with it. I think I should have trusted more that the climber category, when you look at them, there's just a lot of riders who like Rafał Majka and stuff like that, who got quite a lot of points. Like you've got, like Sepp Kuss would have been a better one, Gino Maida for 6, Bardet, Caruso, Martin, Majka. You know, all those did better than the ones that I selected. So, yeah, but there were definitely some better picks that I could have made. So I think overall I am fairly happy with my team. Roglic, Jakobsen and Cort all very much redeeming it. But yeah, I think what we'll look at now is the riders that I recommended people pick. I think I recommended, I want to have a look more. I think I said don't pick Carapaz. I remember saying that. And hopefully you heeded that advice, because he didn't do very well. I think I said don't pick Demar. I know he did okay, but definitely not as good as a Jakobsen. I said don't pick Sivakov. He ended up doing okay, but they were definitely better picks. I think I said Mas was just Mr. Consistent, but I was not expecting him to finish in 2nd place. I definitely should have put him on, just thinking. I think I was trying to go kind of all in on people, trying to get people on the podium, and I didn't think Mas was going to finish there. I thought he was going to finish about 5th again, which is kind of where he generally finishes. So yeah, I probably should have picked Enric Mas. I did say Mark Padun was going to be a good one, and he wasn't. I did also say, where are they? Pidcock and Shack, and I said they were both really good picks, and they ended up being quite bad. which is very surprising. I did not really see that coming. I really thought Shackman after the road race at Tokyo would be doing really good. I also thought Pidcock would get his own opportunities and would really crush that first TT, but he didn't. And I must admit I was quite surprised by that. Trentin, as always, is a really good pick. I think I neglected the 8-pointers of Arambaru and Badgioli quite strongly. Arambaru, of course, DNF a race, but he looked really strong. And I think I should have put more faith in Badgioli, considering how he looked at the Tour de l'Ain. You've got some other guys, like Jeffrey Bouchard, I remember recommending as 6-pointers. He did okay. 330 points. Carmajan, I didn't recommend, but he did really well. I think I recommended Champoussin. I think I said Fraile was a good one, so sorry about that one. Tratnik did alright. Look, Felix Groschachner as a 6-point all-rounder. I think I remember saying that David de la Cruz would have been a better pick than him, which isn't true. He got some less points, but they were both really good. But I think what I want to have a look at is the low-pointed riders, because I remember saying that I think I recommended Odd Christian Eiking, Lawson Craddock, and Jay Vine. I think those were the 3 that I said, and I just want to have a look at if that was the case. So Jay Vine, 313 points. I think that's pretty good going. Who else have we got? I reckon. So I recommended Lawson. He got 304, so that's another good one. And I said Odd Christian Eiking, who, as we all know, did really well there as well. So who did I miss out on? Antonio Soto, to be honest with you, I've never really heard of him. So that's fair enough if you picked him. The Jumbo Visma Unclassified riders, of course, got a lot of assist points, so you could have gone with those. Juan Pedro Lopez was one that I didn't really pick up on, so fair enough if you picked him. But I think my 4-point selections, my recommendations of Craddock, Jay Vine, and of Odd Christian Eiking were very good. So I'm glad to hear that I kind of know what I'm talking about at least. But I think that's about it. Really, I think that's all I really want to mention. Overall, it was a pretty good performance from the team. But we'll build on it next year, and we'll probably never pick Landa or Carthy ever again on a Grand Tour team. But yeah, I look forward to the Grand Tours next year. They're a bit away, but I've had some fun doing all these Grand Tours this year, and we'll definitely do them again next year. And I'll be back with those recommendation videos, those previews, as always. But yeah, we'll just have a bit of a winter break away from this kind of stuff, and we'll wrap up the Super Classico, and then we'll go into the winter and not hibernate, and we'll see each other in New Year. So yeah, keep your mask on, stay safe, and I'll talk to you sometime soon. Salut.